Welcome to the City of Miramar's 2022 Bizfit Virtual Workshop. We're so excited you could join us to learn how to grow your business. I'm City Commissioner Alexandra P. Davis, and I'm truly honored to serve as the presenting host for Bizfit 2022. So get ready to take your notes, and there's tons of useful information you could use from our experts, including how to do business with the city and county, cutting your overhead costs, we all want to do that, maximizing your cash flow, how to stay connected to existing customers and to reach new customers, explore the hottest marketing tools and trends, build virtual relationships, get more customers to find you via your website, social media, and mobile devices. The City of Miramar's Economic Development Team truly values the businesses in our city, and we are here to give you access to the various services and programs that can help your business grow and thrive. We hope you leave the workshop with loads of useful resources to help your business grow. Visit us today at miramarfl.gov/business.
Welcome to the City of Miramar's.
Okay, at this time, I would like to welcome Professor Ken. Good morning. Professor Ken is an award-winning marketer, e-commerce expert, and digital marketing trainer who helps consumer product companies build their brands and online presence in the omni-channel Web 3.0 environment. With 25 plus years of global leadership with 4 Fortune 500 CPG companies, and through his marketing company, eknlinks.com, Professor Ken has successfully launched over 200 million plus top branded CPG products in retail and online through dozens of omni-channel and online campaigns. Professor Ken instructs digital marketing programs at several universities, including Miami-Dade College, in partnership with Facebook, and is co-owner and course director of 21daycourse.com, an online school for business leaders. He has called Miramar home for 22 years, and you can reach him on his YouTube and social channels at Professor Ken US. Welcome, Professor Ken.
Hey, good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here at Bizfit. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And yeah, I've called Miramar home for over 20 years now, raised my children here, and I'm proud to be part of the city of Miramar, and have participated in these events in the past, and they're wonderful. So thank you for everyone for being here and putting them on. I appreciate that. So if I could, let me, I put my info in the chat if you want to reach me, but I'll give you a little more of that. Let me go ahead and share my presentation. So give me 30 seconds while I get that set up. And I'm also going to put myself on video mute, I believe, because you don't need to see a lot of me. I want you to see my presentation more than me. So let's see, give me a second here while I do that. Okay, perfect. Can everyone see the presentation okay? I'm going to put it now in presentation mode. Just let me know, put a yes in the chat or say, oh, good, you got it?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. So let's get started. This is about me. I'm Professor Ken, and yes, I am a real professor. I also instruct here at United International College here in Miramar. I do several online programs as well at Miami-Dade College in partnership with Facebook. I instruct their e-commerce digital marketing program there throughout the campus. And I also I'm course director at 21daycourse.com, and I do live sessions there, which I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. Please reach out to me. I put out new videos every week on my YouTube channel, and that's at Prof Ken US. So please check me out there. For some reason, I'm not moving forward here. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. And if you scan that, you can get all my details. That'll take you right to my online business card. You can save me into your contacts by scanning that, and you'll be able to reach me and get all my websites and all the things that I'm out there. And if you just forget, just remember @ProfKenUS. That's @ProfKenUS. You could Google me there and be connected to all the other things that I do. So let's talk about digital marketing here. Let me see if I can get this thing going. It doesn't seem to be, it seems like I'm having a delay in getting my next screen up. Hold on, everyone. A little technical difficulties here. All right, now it's going fast. Okay, perfect. So let's talk about digital marketing. All right, everybody knows what digital marketing is. There's no secret there. And simply defined, it's marketing online. Now, I've been marketing for over 30 years. So the last 15 years, we moved online. During the pandemic, of course, that's the only way that we did business online. If you didn't have a proper online business or a website or online campaign, it was very hard to stay in business. Now, we're all consumers, so we all shop. So we get that. We understand that. As business owners, as marketers, maybe we're not quite clear on that. So I want to go through some processes to let us think about how we engage with our customers. How do we get our customers? How do we keep our customers? And how do we grow our business? Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about a love story here. Now, I know it's early in the morning and maybe we're not in the mood for love, but this is what we want to discuss. We want to build a relationship. Okay. Think of this, a relationship with your consumer. You want someone to fall in love with you. It doesn't matter what type of relationship you're in right now. If you have a romantic relationship or a business relationship or a professional work relationship, you want to grow close with that person. You want to build that relationship, right? So what we do to gain that customer relationship is we use a combination of art and science. So the art and science come together to help us form this target market. We call them a persona. That's the individual that we're trying to reach, our target market. Now, once we understand that and we put a persona out, we get to the thumbs up, right? The likes. Everyone likes to be liked. That's part of the engagement. Now, what's better to be liked? It's to be loved. And if we can be loved by our customers, we'll grow our business. And that's what we're trying to do, because if we can get enough customers to love us, they're going to stick around and they'll be what we call brand champions. And when they're brand champions and brand advocates, we build CLV. Now, that's a term that I would like you to get familiar with. CLV stands for Customer Lifetime Value. That means we're keeping the customer for life, or we're keeping the customer as long as they want to stick around. I'll give you an example. How many here, raise your hand, how many here are on Amazon or Amazon Prime members? Probably a lot, right? Well, this Prime Day, by the way, today is Amazon Prime Day, so make sure you shop and get a good deal. Well, think about this. You're in love with Amazon Prime, right? You give them $14 a month for 10 years. That's the type of business that helps grow your business. That's why Amazon is one of the largest companies on planet Earth, because they have these loyal customers. Think about an iPhone, right? You have loyal customers. How do you build loyal customers? You build that by having them fall in love with you and give them what they need. Now, let's talk about that a little bit. So if we want someone to fall in love with us, we have to start with what's our responsibility. We have to start with keeping a promise. Now, think about your relationships, okay? You know a relationship is important to have, but you make promises in that relationship, and you have to keep the promises you make in that relationship. It's the same concept with your customer. If you deliver a brand promise, you have to make sure you deliver every single time. So it doesn't matter if you're the city of Miramar, if you're Professor Ken's Cake Shop on Miramar Parkway, if you're an online e-commerce store, you set up your brand promise. The customer comes to you and expects something. You have to deliver every time. Now, keep this in mind. When a customer doesn't get something, you break that promise and you hurt that relationship. And there's studies out there that tell us customers will give you 2 times to get it right. That second time, they're going to light you up online, give you bad reviews, and you'll never see them again, and you'll never grow your business. So we have to keep that promise. That's really important in building the relationship. But now, how does this relationship get started, right? Okay, Professor Ken, I get it. We have to have a relationship with our customers, but there's so many out there. How do we get them aware of who we are? How do we get them to notice us? Remember, think about any relationship that you have. At some point in time, you had to notice that individual to begin that relationship. Well, on the online world, that all starts with content. Now, content comes in many shapes and forms. There's earned content, that's content that we get from referrals. There's owned content, that's content that we have, websites or social media or blogs or videos. And then there's paid content, that's the ads and the things that we pay for. All this content has to get out there in front of your customers because you want them to be aware of who you are, right? Again, take it back to that relationship building. You have to do something so someone can notice you in order for that relationship to begin. So that content equals value. Now that value creates interest. The more interest you have in that brand, in that product, the more opportunities you have as a marketer to convert them. And that's what this is all about. It's about conversions. How do I take someone who's interested in me and convert them to a customer? So it all starts with content. And content could be a very time-consuming thing. I get that. But you have to think about it as like opening up your business. If you turn on the lights, you mop the floors, you set the products, whatever you do, give another 15 minutes a day to creating some type of content. And there are free tools out there that can do that in 15 minutes a day. I can help you with that. And of course, I have a company. It was a voted 2020 best social media company in Southeast Florida. That's what we do. We help businesses do that. But you don't need to hire someone if you can program that into your daily routine. Okay. Now, why do we need content? Because customers are taking different journeys to get to know you. There could be Claudia, who could be a younger woman who has children, who is on Instagram and Snapchat or WhatsApp, and their message is different. There could be Francine, who's an older woman who's retired, and she's on Facebook or LinkedIn. Her message is different. So you have to be able to craft this message to those individuals that will say, oh, this is an interesting company, Professor Ken's digital marketing company. This is great. I need to learn a little bit more about that. My message to Claudia, because she's probably more involved with digital marketing, would be learn the skills that will make it easier for you to be a digital marketer. And my message to Francine would be learn the basics of digital marketing, right? You see the same type of product, but with different messaging. So that's what we're trying to do and trying to get in front of them with. So how does this all start? It starts with us waking up in the morning as a consumer, having a problem or having a need to fill. We then have this consumer journey to find out how to solve that problem, how to fill that need. And us on the other end as marketers, we have that solution. In the middle of this is the content I'm talking about. That right now is the only thing that connects us to someone searching for us. How do you find something? Think about this. You want to eat Mexican tonight. What do? You punch in Mexican restaurants near me, right? Wherever you are. If you're in Miramar, Pembroke Pines, down in Miami, and then you find a Mexican restaurant. What do? You check them out. You look at the reviews. You see their menu. That's all content. Okay, so if you're in the shoe business, you need to have information about how you fix, repair, and sell shoes. If you're in the digital marketing business, you need to have information out there on how you can help someone with digital marketing. That's all content, because when they search for you, you got to be able to put information out in front of them so they can find you. That's the key. Okay, so now let's look at this journey. How does it flow? Well, it flows with awareness. The customer that you're having out there has a problem. They need something. So now it's your job to help them get aware with putting out their content, because they go in, they punch into Google, hey, I need digital marketing to help me grow my business. That's what they punch in. So they start that search. That's the consideration phase. And they get all these results on the search engine result page. That's what we call SERP. And all these results come in and they start considering it. They start looking at reviews, look at cost, look at testimonials. They look at how that business can help them with their digital marketing. They come across Professor Ken's digital marketing courses. They say, oh, that's pretty interesting. Now I'm going to consider that a little more. Let me look into it a little more. They go to my website. Maybe they give me their email address. I send them more information. I give them a discount or I give them a schedule and they buy, right? They convert. They sign up for one of my courses that I do online. Okay. If you have a product, you might ship it, or maybe you have a store, they might pick it up, but that's the conversion. All this got us to that sale. That's really important. So now we have the conversion. Okay, so what happens now after you buy something? Well, there are three things that can happen. Either nothing happens, you buy it, you went to that Mexican restaurant, you ate dinner, and you move on with life. Nothing great. It delivered, it kept its promise. You took Professor Ken's digital marketing course, it kept its promise, nothing great. Okay, now, what else can happen? Two other things could happen there. It could be thumbs down. It could be the worst Mexican food you've ever had in your entire life. And you're going to give them a bad review. And if you can give them 0 stars, you would give them -1 star, that type of thing. Okay. That's what we try to avoid. And if that does happen, you have to answer that. You have to try to solve that, especially if it becomes a public review. You never try to discount that publicly. You try to take it offline, but try to satisfy that customer. Remember, we want to keep that promise. The other thing that could happen, opposite of that, is thumbs up. Oh, Professor Ken's digital marketing class is the best class in the entire world. I learned so much. It's helped my business. I'm going to recommend it to everybody I know, and I'm going to take another course and another course and another course. That's what we call retention. That's how we build a business, by keeping that customer satisfied, keeping that customer happy, and retaining the customer. Now, if we do that enough, we develop what we call brand champions. Now, brand champions will tell the entire world how great your brand is. Okay, think about this. We all have our favorite brand, and every chance we get, we probably talk about this brand to our friend, to our neighbor, to our coworker. Oh, you got to check this out. You got to check that out. And that's what a brand champion does. So after retention, we want to move them into a brand champion, because when they're there, if you do have that Mexican restaurant, they'll come once a month for the rest of their lives to eat, maybe once every 3 months. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you have 100 customers doing that, now you're building a business, and that's how you build customer lifetime value. And that's the whole goal here. Our goal is not to just make one sale. Our goal is to make one sale, keep the customer happy, have them come back and buy a second, a third, a fourth time year 1, have them come back year 2, 3, 4, 5, and do that as much as you can. That's how you stay in business for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And that's how you become the greatest company on planet Earth. It's really important. So now we know all this. Well, this is great. Professor Ken, you're thinking this is great, but there's so many different social medias out there, so many different contents. What do I do? How can I possibly do this? I don't have time. And I hear that quite a bit. Well, if you can't spend the 15 minutes a day to do this, you can hire someone, right? I mean, that's what my company does. There's plenty of people out there that can do that. But what I would suggest is focus on 1, 2, or 3 platforms at the most that you're comfortable with. You don't have to be on every single platform. If you're good at Facebook, stay on Facebook. If your fans, if your audience is there on Facebook, master Facebook. Spend all the time learning Facebook. If you're good at making videos, create videos. You could post that video on Facebook and on YouTube. And everything you do, by the way, can go on Instagram. So you see how this becomes easier. But focus on the platforms that you're good with. Focus on the platforms that your customers are at. You don't have to be everything and everywhere. I'd rather you be 100% on 2 platforms than 30% on 7 platforms. That makes no sense, because you're not gaining any momentum there in building your brand. So let's talk about, I'm trying to get to the slide here. Let's recap what we just talked about. All right, this is a love story, right? We want our customers to fall in love with us. In order to do that, we have to create a brand promise and keep it. We have to create content that leads to conversion that helps us get the customer to become aware of us. That means we have to develop target messaging that makes sense to that particular target market. We have to stay focused on that marketing message, stay focused on the social media, and become committed to doing this. It's going to take time. If you start tomorrow, you're not going to develop a business. It takes an average of 6 months to 18 months to really build up a strong online presence. So start today, because I guarantee you in 18 months from now, you don't want to regret not starting today. So it's really important. So let's talk about this a little bit. And here's my pitch, and I hope this helps you. If you scan this QR code, it takes you to a course. I actually do a live course through 21-day course every 6 weeks or so. The next one coming up is July 31st. Normally the course runs about $399, and for this session, it's $99. It includes is not only the live session. I guess I got kicked out there. Not only does it include the live session, but I also spend an hour with you to discuss your business and talk about your online presence. That alone is worth the cost of admission. There's videos, 24 videos, several hours worth of videos. You get a marketing plan template, workbooks, ebooks, 3 of each. I even show you digital marketing tools that you can use for free in your business. And I launch a new course every week on that platform, free courses. So once you get access to the platform, you get free courses. All this is done to help you grow your business and help you reach your online consumer. I want to thank you for giving me a chance to present this to you. I don't know if we have time for any questions, but I'll be happy to take any.
At this time, does anyone have any questions? Thank you so much, Professor Ken. Okay, well, you have his contact information. You can reach out to him with any questions you have. And at this time, we have a video presentation.
Edelyn, was that the presentation from Dr. Hollis? It's going to be
That's
live.
correct.
We had
Welcome.
technical difficulties this morning, and so I don't want to waste any time. Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Ken. That was fabulous information. I was very intrigued and learned a lot, and I know that the businesses that are on board with us will definitely find it valuable as well. I am now going to be sharing my screen. So that you can see. Can you see my screen, Edelyn, okay?
Yes, it's clear.
Excellent. Good morning, businesses, and thank you all so very much for joining us today with Bizfit. I am Dr. Karen Hollis. I am the lucky individual that has been afforded an opportunity for the City of Miramar to host and develop the Business Inclusion and Diversity system of programs and services to help small businesses grow. Let me tell you a little bit about BID. The goals and objectives of BID and its initiatives are to uphold the highest standards of inclusion to ensure that businesses are afforded access to participate in all of the city's procurement process. And BID is a system of tools that are designed to work together as a part of an interconnecting network of possibilities to close the racial gap, wealth gap, and to position minority businesses to achieve more economic equity. BID designs change management strategies to educate, connect, and grow local and minority businesses. Now, the way that we do that is we provide these small businesses the opportunity to participate in all aspects of city contracting and purchasing programs. We strive to eradicate discriminatory barriers that were identified by our disparity study by developing programs to advance the vision and the goals of the City of Miramar. And we implement these programs and services through BID and as an initiatives to be able to foster more inclusion and diversity on city projects. Here are a couple of the city support systems that we have in place. Technical, of course, we have technology to make sure that we are now able to do compliance and monitoring virtually. economics, we also have like a Bizfit to make sure that businesses understand exactly how to respond to a solicitation that's being released by procurement. We have educational webinars and conferences that we host, and you'll learn a little bit more about that in a second. We do Big Connect socials where we align the small businesses with community stakeholders and other individuals that can also assist them in growing, like a Professor Kim this morning. That would be a perfect example. And then risk and regulatory management, where in which the city of Miramar has a new bid act, and you'll hear more about it. These services are offered through outreach initiatives that we do by us having business access and social impact through meetings that we have internally and externally with myself and department directors. We have policies and procedures that are in place to ensure that we are affording the businesses the greatest opportunity to have access. We report, we collect the data on what it is that we're doing to see if in fact we're having a positive impact and we're actually making a difference in the lives of the businesses that we're seeking to service. We ensure that we give them equal access to not only our availability as individuals and civil servants, but also to the resources that are being made available through the city of Miramar, and then those stakeholder collaborations. All of this and these measures are in place to ensure that we are having economic impact on the businesses that we seek to serve. And so, as an extension to the disparity study that was done in April of 2021, the City Commission added this big ad, and within it, it has 3 additional programs that we're looking to implement: the Minority Small Business Enterprise Program, the Minority Women Business Enterprise, and a local micro business program, in addition to a Small Business Construction Advisory Committee, all of which are in place to be able to help businesses grow. We mandate now that prime contractors have contractor job fairs. We also have quarterly meetings where in which we allow the smaller businesses to have advanced notifications, and we review the project scopes of things that are going to be released by procurement so that the businesses can see those scopes in advance before they're released through procurement. We make sure that vendors know that the first step to doing business with the city of Miramar is through vendor registration, and we always host on weekly and publications through the city of exactly the current bids that are being available through procurement. BID has an annual calendar, and this is a 2020 calendar, where we give businesses an at-a-glance view every year of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And with those monthly webinars and workshops, we develop flyers like the 2 that you see before us. The next in-person event, what we're going to be having, is actually tomorrow, a health and wellness extravaganza. For the month of August, we'll be having a construction contractor fair, and I will be more than happy to chat about this a little more if you all visit me later in the chat room. And more importantly, all of those that are registered will be obtaining copies of these flyers as well. And so we talked a little bit about the data. The disparity study data showed pre-study that the city of Miramar only allotted 7.43% of its economic impact and financial dollars to minority businesses. We are happy to report that post-study data reflects that we're now at 29.2%, which means that the programs and services and the initiatives that are being offered by BID are in fact making a positive economic impact on the businesses we seek to serve. Here an outline of all of the various opportunities that are being made available. You can definitely click your screen. More importantly, you can reach out to us and we will be more than happy to provide you with this information. Thank you again for understanding the importance of joining us on this amazing opportunities and all of the information that's going to be made available to you today. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen Hollis, for sharing the information about BID and all of your upcoming events. Again, as she shared, you can reach out to us if you have any questions or are interested in attending any of these events. At this time in our program, we are going to take a minute to introduce Mr. Andrew Azebeokhai. He is the President and CEO of Community Revitalization Affiliates, CRA. Andrew established the company in 2019 to provide professional services to public sector entities in administering federal, state, and local housing, economic, and community development programs. His work experience in these areas spanned 3 decades in the private sector, and he holds his master's degree in management from St. Thomas University in Miami. He is a member of the Florida Housing Coalition, the Broward Affordable Housing Task Force, and the Greater Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce. He's actively involved in volunteer work with several community-based organizations in Broward County. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, Edlin, for that introduction. And I am pleased to have the opportunity to present the various grant programs that the city of Miramar has to offer for both businesses and homeowners within the city of Miramar. The various grant programs that are available for businesses are commercial rehabilitation programs, both large and small scale programs. We have micro enterprise assistance, which was funded in 2019 during the COVID epidemic. And also we have the home ownership programs, which is housing rehabilitation, purchase assistance program, foreclosure prevention program, security utility deposit program, and rental and mortgage assistance program. First, I'm going to talk about the commercial rehabilitation program, which is available to businesses. This is an opportunity for owners and tenants of commercial properties located within the city target area to apply for funds to supplement the cost of improving the conditions of their properties. Within this program, both property owners and tenants can apply for assistance, the city to help them. There are so many categories that you can apply for and be assisted with. The eligibility criteria I will discuss later, but for commercial rehab, it's restricted to the exterior of the building. You have signage, you have painting, you have doors and windows and parking lot. Those are the things that are allowed under the program. For the small scale commercial rehab, the amount of funding is limited and is restricted to about $20,000 for small scale commercial rehab. We are currently working on increasing that amount to about $50,000 for small scale commercial rehabilitation program. Now, the micro enterprise program is an assistance to small businesses that were affected by COVID-19. When we say micro enterprise, those are small businesses that have 5 or fewer employees. And there are strict requirements for getting assistance under the micro enterprise program. You have to be COVID impacted. We have to be able to document that the reason for your losses was as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. That is the major requirement. And there are funds available for small businesses because these are federal programs that we have to document and make sure that you are eligible before the city can provide you with assistance under the micro enterprise program. Now, let me talk briefly about the other programs that are not business related, but for home ownership programs that the city still have funds available. We have the housing rehab. The housing rehabilitation program is for those that reside within the cities, the city residents that need help in rehabilitating their homes because they do not have the funds to provide the necessary repair that needs to be done to their homes. And the city will assist an eligible homeowner with up to $90,000 to fix their home. But there are restrictions. For you to be eligible is based on the number of people in your household and the total gross household income for all adults 18 and over within the household. Now, there is a lien requirement that the residents need to understand because the funds were provided to those that actually need the help because the government does not want people to get the assistance turn around, flip the properties, and resell them. So there is a lien requirement that is going to be placed on the property for 15 years to make sure that the property is your primary dwelling residence, that you are not going to rent it out or sell it within that 15 years. It's a deferred loan, as we call it. If you meet all those requirements, then at the end of the 15th year, the money is forgiven. You do not have to pay anything. There are no monthly payments in terms of housing rehab. The same thing with purchase assistance. The city has programs, down payment assistance for first-time home buyers, to provide them the assistance they need. We know that there are a lot of people that are renters. They are able to pay their rent regularly without any problem. But when it comes to owning a property, coming up with the down payment and the closing cost poses a problem for them. That is where the city steps in with grant money to help them with the down payment, closing costs, and even buying down the principal mortgage to make sure it's affordable for the renters. Currently, the city has funds available, and if you are very low income, the city will assist you with up to $70,000. And if you are low income, up to $60,000, and moderate income, up to $40,000 towards the down payment and closing costs for the properties. There's also foreclosure prevention. Foreclosure prevention is to assist those homeowners who are having a hard time paying their mortgage and are about to be foreclosed on. Maybe it's due to property taxes not being paid or the mortgage not being paid. The city will step in and assist you with up to $10,000 to bring you current, with the understanding that once the city makes you current, you will be able to continue making your regular monthly payments. That is foreclosure prevention assistance. Then there are new programs coming up starting this month, July, which is the security and utility deposit. This is for renters. If you want to rent a property within the city of Miramar, then the city, if you are eligible, the city will provide you with assistance of up to $8,000 for your first month, last month, security and utilities connection for you to move in, with the understanding that you'll be able to continue making your regular monthly payments after they assist you. Then we have a rental and mortgage assistance program. This is also COVID related. For those that are falling behind in their mortgage or rent because of the pandemic, the city has an assistance with up to $25,000 for mortgage assistance and up to $15,000 for rental assistance for those that are eligible. With this program, it has to be COVID related. You have to be able to prove that the reason you fell behind in your mortgage or your rent was as a result of the pandemic. If that is clearly documented, then the city will be able to assist you in paying your past due mortgage, bringing it current, or your past rental fee, bringing you current, with the understanding that you'll be able to continue making the payments going forward. And for commercial, it has to be in a target area. And the target area, when you meet with us, we will explain to you what the target area is and where you'll be able to provide assistance and be eligible for assistance. These are the programs that the city of Miramar currently have in place to provide assistance to both businesses and homeowners within the city of Miramar. There are funds available. There are applications being accepted currently. You can log in into the City of Miramar website, or you can log in into Community Revitalization Affiliates website at crasouthfl.com for you to be able to access the applications. For you to access application, you have to register on Neighborly. That is the online application portal that the city uses. And once you register, you'll be able to access the applications and be able to provide all the necessary documentations for the city to provide you with assistance. These are the programs that the city have for both businesses and homeownership programs. Thank you for the opportunity to present the grant programs.
Thank you, Andrew, for sharing the information with us. At this time, does anyone have any questions for him? Okay, we can reach out to the City of Miramar and also to CRA if we have any questions related to the funds available for homeowners as well as businesses. At this time, we are going to get some information from the Urban League of Broward County.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thank you, Nari.
No problem. All right, greetings everyone. My name is Neri Tomlinson, and I am the Small Business Program Coordinator at the Broward County Urban League in the Entrepreneurship Center. I want to take this time right now to publicize a pitch competition that we have going on. I'm sharing the screen right now. A pitch competition that we have going on right now. It's sponsored by Miramar-based Spirit Airlines. It's called our Ascend Pitch Competition. First prize is $25,000. Second place is $10,000, and third place is $5,000. This is offered to small businesses in our community in hopes of sparking some entrepreneurial activity. Us here at the Urban League, we try to affect change in the entrepreneurial space in the Black community by implementing three major keys in the entrepreneurial space. It's our money, markets, and our management platforms, which this pitch competition touches all of those three. Money is the access to key capital for our entrepreneurs in this community. Markets is, understanding where and I'm sorry, can you guys see it? Understanding the industry and understanding how businesses can make a difference and, grow in this space. And also management. We offer technical services and assistance through the Entrepreneurship Center by offering classes and other technical assistance for any small business that needs it. Please, we have a breakout room at 12 o'clock, so please, everyone that wants more information, please join. I'll be there giving out more information. And our application process closes July 21st, so everyone is encouraged to apply. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nari, for sharing. If anyone's interested in applying for this contest, you can reach out to him. And also there's information at the bottom of this flyer of a website. And he will be in one of the breakout sessions in a few minutes. Thank you again, Nari. We have a few giveaways that are coming up at this time. So let's stand by as we get that ready for you. Okay, so we just put in the chat a link that will take you to the location. Let me see. One second. Okay. Okay. So we are working to put that link in there for you to do the giveaways and get an opportunity to win a prize. But at this time, we are going to have our next presenter talk with us. And we have Michelle Boylan. And she currently serves as the Vice President of Strategic Initiatives and Compliance. And in this role, she manages outreach and events, the Team Florida program, and rural programs. Before joining the business development team, she also served as the Director of Contracts, Compliance, and Grants for Enterprise Florida. Her role was essential in the development and administration of various grant opportunities for rural communities. And prior to joining Enterprise Florida, Michelle served in multiple economic development related roles within Florida's rural communities. These roles included her time as the executive director with the Highlands County IDA EDC and the executive assistant and project coordinator for FHREDI, which is now known as Florida's Heartland Economic Development Region of Opportunity. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you, Edlin. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for having me amongst this amazing panel of speakers this morning. I'm very honored to be here and talk to you guys a little bit about Enterprise Florida, who we are and what we do. I'm going to take a moment to share my screen. If you could just let me know if I've got it right here, I'd be thrilled if I get it right the first time. Get this in presentation mode for you. So does it look good on your end?
Yes, we can see it clearly.
Awesome, thank you. So I am here today to speak to you a little bit about Enterprise Florida and who we are, what we do, and the services we provide, and just to differentiate ourselves from Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which we are often confused for, and who we are not. You've had your brief introduction to me. I won't waste any more time on that, but I do work for Enterprise Florida, which is the state designated economic development organization. We were developed in 1996, and we are a not-for-profit corporation that is chaired by Florida's governor. We are a public-private partnership, which means we do receive funding directly from the state as well as our private sector. So the mission for economic development, we all understand, cannot be achieved by one organization by itself. It is the combination and collaboration with many of our partners across the state, including the city of Miramar. We work with all of the local economic development organizations, our utility partners, government agencies, sector associations, chambers of commerce, universities, and various stakeholders to achieve our mission. All right, I see there's a delay in transition here. So how do we do this? What is our mission? So EFI serves to enhance the economy of the state of Florida by growing new business and industry and supporting our existing business and industry. And how can we do this? We achieve all of this with the 8 divisions that make up Enterprise Florida, also known as EFI. So we have business development. I'll spend some time today focusing on business development and the initiatives and what we've achieved over the last fiscal year. International trade and development, which has a primary focus on trade and export development for small and medium-sized industries across our state. We also have overseas representation I'll talk a little bit more about. Our marketing and communications team works day in and day out to promote the state of Florida via various platforms, whether it be social media, digital, or print ad placements, and other media channels. MASBEC, which is short for Minority and Small Business Entrepreneurship Capital, is our minority and small business division of the organization, which assists these types of businesses through various capital programs and other initiatives. We have the military and defense team. So our military and defense team works to maintain Florida's reputation as the most military-friendly state, which provides the most advantageous and positive environment for the military installation, defense industries, personnel, families, and veterans. This is achieved through they achieve their mission through the 2 entities we host, which is the Florida Defense Alliance and the Florida Defense Support Task Force. We have Florida Sports Foundation. So the Florida Sports Foundation is the official sports promotion and development organization for the state of Florida. This division is charged with the promotion and development of various sporting opportunities that provide a thriving sporting industry and environment within Florida. This division, much like the rest of us, are excited to welcome the FIFA World Cup in Miami in 2026. We have the Florida Opportunity Fund, which is the venture capital arm of the organization. And of course, all of this couldn't be possible without the support of our IT, human resources, accounting, and the rest of the administrative department. But what services do we provide? Talk a little bit about business development. Business development is where I live within Enterprise Florida. And our team is divided amongst two different sectors. We have project management and strategic initiatives. Business development is most of the time known as the meat and potatoes for the organization. They are responsible for the attraction of the new business and industry. They're constantly out there promoting the state of Florida using the tools that they're equipped with by much of our marketing team and other divisions to tell the story, to tell Florida's story, why we are the best location to do business in. So how do they do this? Through lead generation. Lead generation is getting out there, going to various events, whether it be a target industry specific trade show or to other events to talk about the state of Florida. We meet with site consultants. Site consultants are those that businesses work with when they're looking for another location to move to. These site consultants help those businesses decide where they should go. We have EDO partner relationships. EDOs are our local economic development organizations, again, such as the city of Miramar. We work with our local partners to identify what their mission is, what initiatives they have going on, and how we can partner with them. Response to RFI, I know I'm speaking a lot of economic development language, but basically what happens if a business wants to move to the state of Florida or to any location, they work with these consultants, they identify the criteria for where they want to be, and these consultants submit what is called a response for information to the various states and economic development organizations, asking if we fit the criteria for where these businesses want to go. There are incentives for new and existing businesses within the state of Florida, and the business development team does help with the facilitation of those incentive applications. They also do a lot of business recruitment events. Again, I talked about trade shows and things of that nature. Well, they'll go out, and if we're going to a manufacturing trade show, they're going to go there equipped with the resources they need to talk about why Florida is the best place to do manufacturing. There's also the business retention and expansion aspect of it, which is initiatives such as today and the conversations we're having today to talk with our existing businesses. We understand that the existing businesses are the bread and butter of what we do here in the state of Florida. You're here, you're thriving, you're operating, you're telling our business story, and you are most important to us when we're delivering that message to new businesses that we hope to attract. On the other side of the team, we have strategic initiatives. I head up this division, and it's responsible for various activities such as the Team Florida Marketing Partnership, and this is how we get our local partners together to travel across the state to tell our story. Our partners and stakeholders, this is a council which consists of any state partner with us. It could be a utility partner, a university, and those that I named in the beginning. We conduct research. We work with our rural communities. If you didn't know, we have 32 rural communities in the state of Florida. That's nearly half of the state of Florida is considered rural. So we have initiatives that focus specific on them. We have a sites and buildings database where we advertise the available sites and buildings for new business and industry to come to. Site readiness and event planning. Apologize for the delay. It looks like there is a delay in transitioning here on my slides. Okay, so let's talk about what happened in 21-22. So our fiscal year actually runs July 1 through June 30th. And our business development team during that time frame was actively working 210 projects. That means we were working with 210 businesses who were considering relocating or expanding within the state of Florida. As a result, by the end of that year, we successfully established 51 projects. That means 51 businesses either expanded or located here within the state. With those establishments, 11,520 jobs were created within the state of Florida, and $2.5 billion in capital investment came into the state with those 51 projects. The next division I want to talk to you about is our minority and small business division. So I mentioned that our minority and small business division does support existing minority and small businesses that are within the state of Florida through capital programs. You can access more information about that via the Enterprise Florida website. And we have a representative, Veronica Valdez, who would be happy to have those conversations with you if you would not access her. Another initiative of this division is the Minority and Small Business Bootcamp. This was launched in our previous fiscal year and consisted of 11 webinar series that touched on every aspect of starting a business, maintaining your business, marketing a business, and how to access financial assistance for the business. Well, once we seen the results of that, we went ahead, and I shouldn't say we, I should say the Masbeck division decided to have the Minority Small Business Bootcamp 2.0. So 2.0 has already seen 1,075 minority and small businesses registered. It is a hybrid series with in-person and webinars. We've seen an average of over 200 small and minority businesses participate on the webinar series. Unfortunately, the series has closed for the current year, but we are going to continue this program, and I would strongly suggest participating in it. The very first series we had, The Art of Networking, How to Work a Room, was hosted by Central Florida's very first African-American primetime news anchor, Annetta Wilson. She now has gone into her own private practice of training, and she was happy to assist us with that topic on how to work a room. We also had the Orlando Magic COO who spoke with us about generational wealth. This is a great opportunity for any existing business or new business or someone interested in going into business to learn more about how to do so and be successful in the state of Florida. So currently going on right now, today, as we speak, is the Access to Capital, which we're calling speed dating, financial speed dating. So with this session, there are 75 minority and small businesses that are meeting with 20 lenders in Orlando for what we're calling the speed dating. In late August to early September, there will be the procurement readiness session that will take place. It is slated to happen in Miami. We do not have a date, but if you continue to follow us, then you'll be able to gain more information. I was kicked out. I'm going to try to get back in. So here's what our flyer looks like for what is currently taking place. Unfortunately, it is occurring today, and you will not be able to attend if you had not already registered. However, there will be more opportunities like this one in the future. The next division that I want to talk a little bit about, and it provides lots of resources for our small businesses across the state, is our International Trade and Development division. So this division assists with the medium-sized Florida companies who are currently manufacturing products or provide a service within the state of Florida that are interested in exporting. So we partner with Florida's economic development and trade organizations. We provide international companies that are seeking to move or relocate with assistance with getting into Florida to do business. And we promote foreign direct and out-of-state investors and invested in expanding and locating to Florida. So how do we do this? So you see here, you have your company in the middle here, and these are the various services we provide through this division. There is export counseling. You can meet directly with one of our trade managers across the state who can assist you with connecting you with the appropriate individuals and also provide export counseling. We do have a monthly newsletter that goes out. There are industry specific international trade shows. We'll talk a little bit about that. Certificate of free sales. If you're interested in exporting your products, sometimes it is required to have a certificate of free sale in order to do so. And we do provide that service. There are various grants that support things such as the virtual business assistance programs or the trade show programs. I mentioned that we have an international presence, and this is achieved through our network of 14 international offices. So we provide market statistics, database, and country market information. And we also do lead trade missions with the governor. A little bit more about our international trade grants and programs. There is virtual business matchmaking. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide with the Gold Key and trade missions. International trade shows, the export marketing plan, and website localization. So the export marketing plan, let's take, for instance, you're manufacturing a product within our state. This is a product that you're not certain if you want to begin exporting, you're interested in exporting, you don't know how to get started, you're already exporting, but not exporting as frequently as you would like to. We work with the partners at the Florida SBDC network who create these plans to help the business. They'll come in and have the conversation with the business to identify the markets that you should be targeting. This plan usually costs $5,000. Utilizing an Enterprise Florida Trade Grant, we cover $4,500 of the expense. There's a $500 fee for the business, which is minimal in comparison to that $5,000, but we're happy to provide a grant to you if you're interested in going in that direction. Website localization. So I seen IBT online on one of these flyers here, and we do partner with them. In this program, if you are currently exporting and you would like to have your website translated into the language of the market that you're already in, we provide a grant that allows for various ways to do so. One of them being that we can help translate your website into 2 different languages. Now, this service normally costs about $12,000, and we cover $8,000 of that service utilizing one of our grants. I mentioned the certificate of free sales earlier on. So what is the goal key in matchmaking? So this grant provides the opportunity for your business, if you're interested in already exporting, or if you need to meet with new distributors in various countries, we provide a service where we can schedule pre-screened meetings with potential foreign agents or distributors in various countries. So qualified companies for this grant can receive a 100% reimbursement of the cost to be matched with these companies. We have done this virtually, where you can have virtual meetings. And we've also done this in conjunction with other shows that you're attending, where while the show expense might be one of your own, we would assist with setting up those meetings. We have target sector trade shows. So these are shows that are specific to any industry that you are currently working in, whether it be the medical or aerospace. There's various trade shows you can see identified here, where we're happy to assist with your participation in those trade shows. If you've ever attended one, you can understand it get quite expensive. Through this grant, we will cover up to 75% of the costs for construction of your booth. It could be anything from the carpet, the walls, the graphics that you have, your TV rental, or anything of that nature to build a booth at one of these trade shows. So we cover up to 75% of that expense, up to $7,500. Again, these grants are all specific to Florida companies that are manufacturing and providing a service within the state of Florida. We have additional information on all of these programs on our website. And as I mentioned, we have a map of trade managers across the state that would be happy to have any of these conversations about any of these programs that we provide. Here's a look at what our international trade and development team did last year with the programs that we just discussed. They had 4,624 consultations with 2,310 Florida companies. That means they had over 4,000 conversations with at least 2,300 companies in the state of Florida, identifying how we can help them, whether it be connecting them with the appropriate partner, providing a grant, talking about exporting, anything of that nature. We have those conversations. We successfully completed 14 international trade events, which is phenomenal considering we just came out of a time where we couldn't travel and we weren't able to complete very many events. We awarded 294 companies trade grants. Those are the grants that we just discussed. 294 companies across the state of Florida benefited from those grants and were able to either attend a trade show, have business matchmaking conducted for them. They were able to have an export marketing plan created for them. As a result of these initiatives, of those grant programs, of attendance at these shows, $1.482 million in export sales were generated within the state of Florida. That means that when a company was overseas and they were having these conversations, whether it was at a trade show or through the business matchmaking, they were able to secure contracts where their product will now be manufactured in Florida and distributed to that country, or working with the country to distribute the product for them. As a result of those contracts, over $1.4 million was generated in export sales for the state of Florida. With that, I will close out my presentation here with our contact information. Enterprise Florida does have 3 offices across the state. Our headquarters is in Orlando, and that's where I am hosted. I'm sorry? There's an office in Tallahassee, another in Miami, and here is contact information here. With that, I will close out my presentation. I'm open for questions if there are any.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Does anyone have any questions for Michelle at this time? Okay, she provided a few contact information. You can reach out to her if you have any questions. At this time, the virtual meet booths are now open, so it's a great opportunity to go on over there and see what vendors are there so you can collect some information. Also, there are sessions beginning at 11:45. You can meet Paola over at the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. The Urban League with Nari will be available at 12 p.m. for a session. At 12:15 will be the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber of Commerce with Patty. And at 12:30, you can log on for a session with the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Thank you so much for participating today. Please go on over and win some prizes and check out the virtual booths. And we look forward to having you at our next event.